What's going on? Hey, what's up, you guys? This is another CREWMARU Toy Mechanics repair stream. Sorry. Love you, Russ. All right. It's another Monday. Feeling pretty good today. Feeling pretty good. Got some stuff. I got a lot of stuff. Yeah. A lot of stuff. Oh, you know what's funny? I'm just now looking at this Nosferatu, and it looks like they used the exact same... looks like they use the exact same things here for the Doc Nocturnal. I just got my replacement Doc Nocturnal in. I have to ship off the other parts though that I had. My Doc Nocturnal, not Doc Nocturnal. What am I saying? Atticus Doom. I got an Atticus Doom, and when he came in, he had two right hands. And all the wire in his freaking belt was, about half of it was pulled out. And so I was like, well, that's going to suck, man. I don't think I'm going to be able to get a replacement on that, but we'll see. And so I hit up Mezco, and that was about a little over a week ago, I think, maybe a week. Whenever this came in, I noticed it the day of, because, you know, if you are a Mezco collector, or if you're new to collecting, you haven't got a Mezco yet, anytime you get a Mezco figure in, you need to make sure that that figure is in good shape, because you have 10 days. You have 10 days to contact them and get a replacement if it's possible. Anyways, what's going on, Esteban? What's going on, Josh? What's going on, Clayton? My man Clayton. Yeah, dude, check this out, man. I was just noticing this. Let's zoom in here. The Nosferatu and the Atticus, they share these little bucklets here, little ties. Thought that was interesting. But I wish I had the head for this guy. That'd been fun to do a post with him. Oh, I wonder if you could make him Cthulhu Natu. Look how mysterious he looks like in the lighting there. This is the whole reason I wanted Atticus, was for this freaking Cthulhu stuff. I think it's so cool. And this is the first time I've messed with him since I got him out of the box. I didn't want to mess with him. Oh man, these hands, these wrists. Before we get started, I'll let a few more people load up here, get in, and I'll show you what you do. Here's a quick little fun impromptu tutorial for any of you Mezco collectors out there. First thing you want to do is carefully remove those hands by pulling straight out. You want to pull straight out. You don't want to bend, because they can break. You know what you do? Get yourself a sanding bit, or you could use sandpaper if you wanted to. I prefer a sanding bit. And you just go around it like so. It's on a very low speed. You don't want to shave away too much. I don't know how much that's doing. I'm going to go on a higher speed. I tell people to go on a lower speed because I feel like that's better to tell people to do that. But if you're familiar with the sanding bit, go a little further, a little faster. And sometimes even I'll go a little too far and I'll make the peg a little too small, and that's fine because then I can adjust it to any size I want by adding a little dab of super glue. But let's see if this worked. It still feels like, I guess these are, I guess they might be stronger these days, but I'm still fixing these figures. You know what I mean? What's up, my man Samurai Chris? Glad you could make it, man. Hope your Monday's going all right. I'm actually surprised. I gotta pump it up. Not gonna lie. Alexa, add sanding drill bits.
Sanding drill bits added to your shopping list.
I think my sanding bits are getting numb. Numb? Numb? Dull. What? Who's... Yeah, I don't know, man. There's something about these things that just... There we go. Yeah, that's nice. So now we got Nike. Let's see how tight this is. It's pretty good. You can always tell like how tough it's gonna be. It's just a little more snug than I want, but since I know how to take these things off. I'm careful with them. I'll be fine with that. But yeah, you need to do this to every single one of these. Especially the females, man. If you don't do this to the females, then those hands are gonna break. And if you're watching this, you're like, well, mine haven't broken yet. Well, good on you, because they're gonna break. I'm telling you. Then you'll be calling old Bill Maru, being like, Doctor, I know you said not to do this, but I did it anyway, and now they're broken. Check this out, man. This guy's looking cool. I like this. Look at this. Everybody's got to get to the back of the truck because this is not a safe area. That's my best Zoidberg. All right, you guys came here to watch some toy repairs. That was a mod. That's close, right? Man, if for any of you who don't keep up with Mezco or whatnot, this dude is pretty wild. I was knocking on this head whenever I first saw it. I was like, this looks lazy to me. No. I don't know how that's not offensive. That's very offensive. I'm sorry. I don't know, man. We got it in hand, and I guess the sculpt is just so much cooler and whatnot. It's not as bad as I guess I thought it was. It's so stylized and whatnot. I guess that kind of threw me off. But this is bananas. This is so wacky and stuff. Like, you can take this crazy golden eye out of his head. You can even take his brain out of his head. This thing is bananas. I think this is probably one of the most fun figures Mezco's put out next to Captain Nemo. It's going to be hard to beat Captain Nemo. That is my favorite Mezco figure. I need to put these back in here. I'm going to keep him displayed as this Cthulhu thing. I'm digging that. I like that a lot. I think he looks cool. Look at that. Now he doesn't look so bad in the green. I wasn't feeling this green trench coat. Like, I like the green trench coat, but I wasn't feeling it with this outfit. I'd rather him be in either a black or a gray or like a wool or tweed or something like that, but like gray. Because, man, he's got this dapper outfit on underneath. Gray slacks, black belt that matches his black shoes, black gloves, black vest, red, and then a green trench coat. I'm like, man... Feels like he just found that green thing on the street and picked it up. I like the color green. Don't get me wrong. I like that trench coat. I just am not feeling it on here. I'm sure a lot of people love it, but I'm like, man, I don't know. Could have been cool. I'm always happier with a splayed hand as well. So I'm gonna give him the splayed hand. And this is bananas, dude. He comes with this freaking... I don't know. Like I said, I know you guys probably aren't here for a review, which I don't ever do. But, man, this book is crazy. I think it opens. How do you open? Probably use the lock. Or maybe it just opens. There you go. And each one of these freaking pages is like... Look at this. You seeing that? Each one is drawn and... God, what's on my finger? Gross. It's gone now. Yeah, each one of these pages are freaking different, and it's crazy. Closes nicely too. Seems like it would hold open well. That's just really impressive me. I don't know. That's a hell of a detail. That's crazy. Got all sorts of flame effects and whatnot, and yada yada. We're gonna put this hand on. With our modded wrist joints. Oh, it feels so much better. Look at him. I can't believe this. Oh, God, my tentacles are hurting. I shouldn't have had so much of the shrimp this... I gotta stop. Alright, let's go. Let's get into it. Let's get into toy repairs. Although my OCD... I almost said my ACDC. My OCD won't let me shut this package without doing... Oh my god, I hate this stupid tissue paper. Like, I gotta put it back all prim and proper in here. You guys ever mess with one of these dang... It's the new boxes. The presentation is phenomenal. But after you open it once, I'm like, I'm gonna throw this damn thing out the window. I don't like it. The magnet. Now look. Now it's all look crappy. This hanging out the side. Freaking Echo's trying to tell me things. Alright. Let's fix a Nosferatu, am I right? Alright. Zoom out for y'all guys so you can see what the heck is going on. Alright. We'll change out my drill bit. Actually, I'm probably going to use this one here. Here's our arm. And I was wondering if I should do a tutorial on this thing. Probably not. I already did single elbows. I don't think people need to... Yeah, Harry. I don't know if you just got this. Yeah, okay, you did see it. Cool. I'm glad you got a chance to see that. Dude, it's super easy. If you don't have like a drill bit, or like a rotary tool, like a Dremel or anything like that, you can take some coarse sandpaper and just kind of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, just kind of go around, each side. Give it a couple of scrapes. Test it. Pop it in. Pop it out. Just be very, very careful. Try not to yank in and stuff. NYC. Hey, you know what? If that Zoidberg impression got you, then that's what's up. That's amazing. Walked into Zoidberg, was confused but laughed and spit out my coffee. Well, go get you another coffee on me, man. Tell him Bill Maru sent you, and I bet you that'll work. If it doesn't, keep my name out your mother mouth. Am I right? Is it too soon? Is it too soon for crazy? I won't get us all started on that, but woo-wee. All right. So, show you guys how to do this. I've actually got some screws already ready over here, and I think these might work. Oh, whoa. Whoa, what is this? I fixed one of these before, but I don't remember it looking like that. Surely these aren't dual. I'm pretty sure these are single elbows. Okay, anyways. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with a 0.9 millimeter drill bit. Alexa, add 0.9 millimeter drill bits.
0.9 millimeter drill bits added to your shopping list.
I break a lot of drill bits. So, all right. That was a heck of a slap. That was a hell of a slap, man. Woo. What's up, T-Dog? I haven't seen you in a bit. Or if you've been in here, I apologize for missing your appearance. Oh, God. Let's get comfortable. Let's get loose. All right. I was in here for man, how long was I in here for yesterday? It was bananas. You guys need to join the freaking Discord in there. It's fun, man. We get in there and we chat it up, and we'll do video chats during the day. Sometimes, a lot of times, it's on Sunday. We do the work. Me and Corey from Casting Cave. We got a lot of cool people in there. Oriel show up. Clayton, my buddy Clayton. It's just fun in there. We have a good time, and it's always good. Esteban's in there. He's telling us to check the Discord. I'm sure there's something funny in there. Anyways, let's go ahead and get to this. So first off, what we're gonna do is the first thing we have to do is get the broken peg out. And luckily, this Nosferatu has these torn up, ragged sleeves. They're very loose on him, so that's freaking awesome. A lot of times that can be a real pain in the butt to get those things out. because you've got to either roll up a sleeve, sometimes you got to cut a sleeve off, which sucks, but here we go. So we're going to heat this up. A little heat here, a little test. It still needs a little more. I think that's probably about good. Keep in mind I use a heat gun, so it doesn't take me nearly as long as, say, boiling water or a hair dryer. When I started though, I started with a hair dryer. See how crazy this peg is. I know it looks really scary whenever you're bending around, and sometimes you do want to be a little more careful whenever you're going in and pulling these pegs out. You don't want to rip any of the plastic, but you get it soft enough. Usually they'll come right out, but also you want to move a little slow, because if you get up underneath this thing and you start to pull that thing out and it gets past like this lip, that thing can go flying. And I don't want to lose the peg. I want to keep it. Almost had it. No, let's not risk it. Let's heat it up a little more. It's being stubborn. And also remember, if you do end up warping the plastic somehow while heating this guy up or trying to pull that peg out, you can always reheat it and it'll reform its shape. It's pretty cool. All right. Let's try that again. After we reheated it, let's get up under this guy. And we'll pull down from the thicker spot here. God dang. I mean, that's really not wanting to come out. This is probably why it broke, I'm guessing. I don't understand what it's hung on. Let's try one more time. Gosh dang. Usually these are really easy to get out. I'm interested to see what this peg is going to look like. I fixed one of these before, but I ended up having to actually rebuild the elbow. I can't remember why I had to rebuild the elbow for somebody, but something wasn't going right. Either maybe they were missing a piece or something along those lines. But all right, let's see. Maybe third time's a charm, right? Slippery little punk. If I can just get the tip here of this pliers on here. There we go. Oh yeah, wow, that's a much thicker peg than they normally use. Look at that. There. Each one of these is like 1/4 of an inch. So it's pretty big. It's usually not that thick, the peg head. Yes, Tyrone, he does, man. That's why it broke. For some reason, you would think that you would think that the elbow with more engineering in it would actually be more prone to breaking, but I'm gonna. Oh, you know what'd be cool? What if I could put my Toycanic head on old Atticus's body? Oh, look at that. Kind of cool. Probably use a little more neck in there, but that looks all right. Look at that. This will be a fun photo, right? Even though Nas doesn't have any head. Let's see if we can't. I need like a. He's so tall. I can't believe. I love how short Atticus is. Looks like I've got a little collar on. Let's see what that looks like. That looks like a fun photo. I'm gonna take one of these. I think these are always good for Instagram. Drop the there we go. go. Here's our broken bits. Cool. Alright. So let's see what we got here. Since we've got the peg out now, what we want to do next is we're going to heat up the elbow. I always like to heat up the elbow before we start drilling. And I'm going to heat this elbow up, and then I'm going to basically go in with this small flathead screwdriver. Let me zoom in for you, show what I'm talking about. I'm going to go in like so, right here on the edges. Just gently, just to see if we can't just kind of crack these open a little bit. Kind of like this. And see if we can't get this thing to move. Here's the... Oh, man. It is a freaking... Oh, this sucks, man. So these are not the same as the Joker elbows. Son of a... Yeah, these are way harder. Yeah, this is why they're breaking as well. There's a freaking Pop Rivet in here. Yeah. So, that sucks. Show you guys what I'm talking about. Dang it. I forgot that this had this here. This is why I knew I had to make a guy a freaking other elbow for it. And now I'm remembering why. It's because they did a quote-unquote single joint. Here we go. I'll show you guys what you're dealing with here. See right here? These are not the normal single jointed elbows. Normally, the single jointed elbows basically just have a pinless. Basically the pinless. So there's actually, it's just a round, it looks like this, basically. So you see you've got a hole right here. Usually this goes in the elbow, and this is obviously rounded right here, but it goes through a peg, which you can't see, and you're all familiar, I'm assuming, with pegless joints from Marvel Legends and whatnot, and it just basically bends like this. Usually you can drill a hole into this, and reattach it, and it works like a freaking charm. Well, with these are way harder. And I believe that's why I built the guy a freaking joint last time. I had to use like something that's kind of off color because basically I can't reattach this. It's just so incredibly thin that I would have to use like, I don't know, maybe a 0.5 millimeter, 0.4 millimeter. And I don't have a screw like that, man. This would be, I don't know. This is ridiculous. So yeah, these are way harder to repair. Cool. Well, it always makes for an interesting stream. So I'm glad I picked this one tonight. Okay. So this is how we got to remove a Pop Rivet. We're going to take we can take our needle nose pliers, and we can kind of, or you know what would be better? Let's use our end clippers here. So we're going to use our end clippers and see if we can't find the edge. I doubt I can because these things are so tight. Let me see if I can even bend it. So we'll just grip that spot. Oh, that really sucks. So it actually does bend. So I think what was going on, let's see what we're dealing with here. I always like to try to find out like what broke, what caused the break. It does look like this is slightly oblong in here, but I don't know. That's kind of weird. This must have just been cheap plastic, because the point is on this is you have to twist this around, right? So the issue that we're going to run into here is basically what we need to do is we have to make a new one of these from scratch. So tonight is going to be a Dremel heavy night, unless I can find, something that's really close. And maybe we will. Let's see what happens. Oh, Warren's in here. Warren Roar. Is it Roar? 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 We're going to go with just Warren. Warren R. So Warren R is in here, and he is the client for this Nosferatu. He paid a pretty penny for it, only for it to freaking break on him, which, I think a lot of us have been there. It really sucks to be there, honestly. But we've all been there. I'm trying to decide if it's best to just cut this piece and slide it off, because there's just no way I can fix this with the freaking drill bit and screw. You just can't. But what we can do is what I want to do. We want to slightly bend. We want to bend the pop rivet. Sometimes you can do something along these lines. And this is why I use punches. Call them picks, punches, whatever. They basically look like this. I make a lot of these. Let's see. Danarchy in the AK said, I love that name. He said the foot broke off. He said, is it the same? I don't know. I don't think so, but it could be. And this is not my figure, and I don't want to risk popping that foot off, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Maybe we can find somebody who does have one. I'm sure those would pop off easily, but what always makes me nervous about their figures with their legs is they usually cram a bunch of like the fabric in with either the calf or the ankle, and you end up having them stuck. Whew, gotta release that bad energy. Where'd that come from? Whew, wake up. All right, here we go. Yeah. So back to it. Get a punch, and you put it kind of directly here in the center. Now, this can be risky. Luckily for my client, I know how to literally build one of these from scratch. But sometimes, and warning, sound warning, this might be loud. I'm literally about to hammer this in. Yeah, I think it might be more like his wrist joint as well, Danarchy. So do apologize for the sound. And sometimes that'll give us a little more to grip. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes it'll pop it through. I don't want to hit it anymore. Pardon me. I gotta keep clearing my throat. You'll also see that you'll see me bring a razor blade in right here where the seam's at, like so. That's to just kind of make sure that, I don't know, it seems to help. You can get a razor blade in it is really why that helps so much. You can kind of bend it like so. And it feels like this stuff, it feels like this plastic could almost bend with it. Sometimes you can see that even the razor blade won't go all the way around. Like it's that tight in there, but I was able to move it. A lot of times what'll happen is you'll get around like this. I'm trying to find like a smooth spot to where we might be able to just pull that thing up. We'll see what happens. What's up, Chris Smith? Thanks for showing up tonight. Hope you're having a good Monday. Another thing you can do, and this usually helps too. All these methods are just things I like to try and order before I get to the more extreme things like this. We're using a small flathead screwdriver. It's very bent because I've used it a lot, and I keep it bent like that because I like it. It's one of those little custom accidents that turn a tool into something more useful. Let's see how far this will actually bend for me. So what can happen here is if we're able to kind of bend this thing out, what I usually like to do, like I said earlier, is I try to, if I can get a grip on this thing somehow, like so, or like I'm trying to do, if you can get that edge and kind of pinch it in a little bit, then you can start getting that, basically the plastic to start kind of being able to wedge out, and you can squish that pop rivet. Now this is assuming you want to try to use the pop rivet. Usually I can reuse it. I say usually, which means tonight, it probably won't be. It seems like every time I try to do one of these, like on here or something like this, where I'm like, oh yeah, I've done this a million times, I look like a complete crazy person because it doesn't end up going the same way. But we won't leave you hanging. We won't leave you high and dry. I told this man I would repair this toy tonight on the stream, and that's what we're gonna do. And it's just gonna take a little while on this one, I'm afraid. Just gonna have to pry this thing open. I'm trying to see kind of what we're working with here. If I can just get that the plastic's like got a lot of bend to it, so that really sucks, man. It's kind of weird. It's interesting. Chris Smith, what's your Instagram name? Sometimes I don't recognize people's names by their regular names. We've all got alter egos online, you know. Because I thought my account was like Bill Maru Toycanics or something like that, but I think it just pops up on YouTube as Billy Mahoney, so it's just my name. It's whatever. But I noticed it got that point where like some of the bigger guys in the toy industry, they'd have me on, and they'd be like, oh yeah, we're going to have Billy Mahoney on. I'm like, why isn't he saying Bill Maru? It doesn't really bother me, but I was always like, why is that? And I went to my channel. It's like, oh, this is Billy Mahoney's channel. Like, I don't know how to internet, guys. I can't tell you how risky this is. I'm doing this right now. I cannot believe I have not stabbed my thumb yet. Like, I haven't slipped yet. Oh, man. I wonder if I could go in from the side. This one's going to be a booger. Oh, you know what? Duh, stupid. Okay, instead of a punch, you can actually use just a regular screwdriver. I'm gonna Phillips screwdriver, and that will actually cover it's interesting because you're working in that cross formation. So let's go ahead and hammer this a little bit. Noise warning. Here comes the hammer. Okay. Oh, Smitty! Yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, Julian, I'm pretty sure we all saw the Oscars. And if you didn't watch the Oscars, you know where. You know where, we all saw it. Yeah, we all saw it. Yeah, Tyrone. No, exactly. No one saw the Oscars, but everyone saw the clip. Yeah. That's hilarious. Man, bananas. That's the state of the world right now. Just slapping people. I'm just saying, man. Remember what happened to Charlie Murphy? He got slapped, and that stuff came back pretty hard on old Rick James. I gotta give props to freaking Chris Rock, though, man. That dude. That's tough, man. To keep your composure, remain professional. Call somebody out for being like it was a joke, man. God dang, and he didn't know about all the alopecia stuff. Come on now, and but dang, like last night, Chris Rock didn't get slapped by Will Smith. Chris Rock got slapped by Jada Pinkett Smith. That's what happened. That is a woo-wee. Smack. Smack. Billy Moon, what are you up to, man? Been a minute since I've seen you. I hope you're doing well. I never even got a chance to ask you, like, I know you finally got your armored Spider-Man, and I wanted to know if you were happy with it or not. I can't remember if I asked you already or not, but I was like, that's always been like that funny kind of back and forth of you like always wanting that dang armored Spider-Man, and you finally got it. I just wonder if he's happy. All I want you to be is happy, Billy Moon. Man, this thing is really being up. Oop. Nope. Haha, my pants caught it. Got a couple issues. Oh yeah, hit me up, Chris. Absolutely. Let's see what we can do. Sorry guys, it's gonna be slow moving until I can get this thing out. I just want to make sure I can keep the integrity of this other joint intact without breaking it, and you know. If I could get my hammer in here, I don't think I can though. I'm trying to do one of those things where I can like try to, if I can just get the edge. What happens if I do this? I'm gonna, let's see what happens. If anything, I'm not gonna break the other piece. If anything, it'll break this piece and we can just make a new one because that's what we got to do anyways. Although I'd like to try to reattach this thing, I don't think I'll be able to. Alright, so we got a pretty good grip on it there. See if we can't come in from the bottom here. Oh, we got that grip. Let's see if we can't. If we can just find where that pop rivet's entering. We could probably get it out. I thought we had it there for a second. Let's see. Almost got it. Hang on. Careful. Don't want to go in too crazy here. Make sure you're on the seams so you're not bending anything. I'll turn that back upside down and see what happens here. I'm glad I didn't try to do a tutorial on this because it'd be like, just do whatever works. I don't know. I tried telling these guys 1,000 ways to do this and none of them are working. So then I had to grip it like a freaking caveman. And hopefully I can, if I can just, I got to get under this thing and pierce through. So the whole point about a pop rivet is that it's not meant to come, it's not supposed to come out. So that's where we are right now. We're trying to basically get this god dang thing out. I don't know how small the hole is. I think we're getting there. Maybe I can come up from underneath here, grab it, grab the pop rivet. All right, there we go. Got it out. Kind of bent this plastic just a little bit. I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think I could actually heat that back up and reshape it. Might even need to be reshaped. It's probably good. Okay, so now we have it out. Gosh, man, look at that. There's your pop rivet. There's your culprit. Okay. And so now we've got to figure out what to do with this. I don't think I can reattach it to that piece. I just don't think it would, I don't think it would hold. And the reason I say that is because A, for how thin it is, but also the fact that when this goes back, let's see, this is going to go into this part of the arm, right? That's where we pulled this out of. No, wait. No. Yes. Yes, that's correct. So this is going to go back into the elbow area, into the bicep, basically. And what happens is when that goes back in, it twists. Okay. That's why I don't trust that. I don't want to screw this on here, bring it back in, and then it twist and it rip off in that freaking arm. And that's going to suck. You know what? That's what we don't want. So. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I am going to be taking the entire month of April off. Um, if I do have work from you now, I will still work on it in April. I'm just not going to take on any more jobs. I think I already have like 3 on the way. Freaking a mom hit me up. Wasn't going to take on any more jobs, and then this mom hit me up and she's like, my son's Spider-Man broke. I'm like, send it over. Send it over. I shouldn't have told y'all that. If any of y'all ever try to pull that stuff on me and I find out you don't have kids, I will be so disappointed. Christine was laughing about that. I said that the other day. I was like, that's how you tell these guys how to cheat me out of, like, how to get a better price and how to get me to work when I don't want to work. It's like, oh, act like you're a mom trying to get your kids' toys fixed. And I was like, I want to do that deal where it's like kid tested, mother approved, because I've done work for like a couple of moms and they're always like crazy nice and just like super appreciative, and I love that. That's really special. Dads too, don't get me wrong. Definitely a few dads. I don't trust the dads though as much usually. I trust the mom more. Because the dad could be a lying collector. You bums. Oh, you got no wall crawling hands for him. Dang it. Oh, Julian's telling jokes. Okay, let's start with a joke. Here we go. Okay, so if you have 100 people in a room, 99 won't slap you, but 1 will. I was saying it last night. I was like it was like, I think I said like, now if you have to take a minute, just sit right there. I'm about to go slap Chris Rock for making fun of my wife's hair. Sung to the theme of The Fresh Prince. Kind of stuttered in it there. I was nervous. I'm not a rapper, guys. But yeah, we can all dream. We can all dream for that. Oh, Tyrone says he's really hoping to find them gargoyles, but my targets aren't that reliable. Dude, yeah, no kidding. I need Demona, and I definitely need a Bronx for show. I gotta get that whole line. I got pretty lucky on the whole haulathon. I mean, really, my friend Ori got lucky for me. I did find Griff from Back to the Future 2. That was pretty cool. I think we might have talked about this last time, but still pretty cool. This is kind of weird. Like this thing right here. This let's see. We've got a little bit of excess. Let's see here. See if that'll focus for you. My fingers are rough. Sorry. There's a little bit of excess plastic right here, which I actually want to. These are the things like I have to stop and take pictures of. It's like when there's like stuff like that. That's what always makes me like kind of question what happened here. Like, why is that little divot there? There's this weird. No, you guys will see this later on Instagram. I should actually show this completely taken apart. Be like, watch my live stream to find out how I did it. I really don't know how I did it. No, actually, if you guys want to know, I did go in with these end clippers. I clipped basically like so from the bottom, and then it kind of got in there a little bit, and then I was able to bring in these needle nose pliers underneath this little donut piece, kind of like that. You go in and you grip from the center where this is right here, this pop rivet, and you pry it backwards, pop it out. But back to this piece, we've got there's a weird chunk of plastic like right here. So we're going to go and smooth that out because that would be a problem. There it went. Just flew off. Man, that was a real odd chunk of plastic right there. Huh. Okay. Okay. So another thing we probably want to do here is we can take this Pop Rivet that we've got now out. And you'll notice like it's basically got a bowl around the top now. So what I can do is I can kind of go in from the top just a little bit, and you just want to pinch. Don't pinch too hard, because if you pinch too hard, that it'll bend too much, and we don't want to do that. I basically try to turn that bowl shape into just a straight tube, so there's no. It's going to be a lot easier for us to get the whatever we're about to put back on here. Whether it be a new peg or I honestly, like I said, I'm honestly not thinking I can reattach this. I do have this. I do have a very small eye hook that could potentially work, but I'd like to see. Chris, all right, listen, Samurai Chris, all you have to do now is make up different lyrics of like Will Smith slapping people, and that's like you'll be current. You know? I'm sorry I did that to you. Oh, my man Captain McKay's in here. The Cap. He says, I've been laughing all day at the alternate reality that opened up where everyone lives in fear of seeing Will Smith approaching them with an open hand. It's like a 2022 version of Slender Man. You know what's funny about that? What puts me in more of an anxiety state is being Chris Rock after the slap. And there's that pivotal moment where either Chris Rock can retaliate, say some words, or cry, get knocked down. There's a lot of things. But the man didn't rub his face. He held his composure, was in total shock, and was like, well, guess the show's got to go on. And then he drops a freaking amazing one-liner of, this is the greatest night on television. Like, Will Smith just Kanye Wested the Oscars. How about that? I don't know. I see a lot of people on both sides of that. I don't really like to get into those things because I feel like it's going to turn everything turns political. But I will. I mean, if this is my channel, and what I would say personally is that I think what Will Smith did was very cowardly to do that. It really was. And then for him to walk up 20 minutes later and receive an award for Best Actor, which, given the acting was acting, that's why he won the award. But it's like, man, I don't know, man. It just feels like, I don't know, it feels crazy. It really feels crazy to me. I gotta give props to Rock, man. I really do. All I can think, though, is like the anxiety that fills me up is like the next day or 2 or 3 days where Chris Rock is having those conversations in the shower. You know, the shower conversations where he's like, man, maybe I should have said something funnier. Should I have said something to him? Should I have done something? I'm like, oh man, that's gotta suck. I hope Chris Rock being a comedian is just like, man, that's crazy. I think honestly that's like good for his career. The fact that man composed himself like that, I'm like, that's amazing. That's amazing. But if you guys want to continue to talk about this, we can. We don't have to talk about this all day. I'm sure you've been seeing clips and all that stuff, but pretty crazy. Danarchy in the UK says the only one I want from the Holothon is Fugitoid. That is the best freaking TMNT figure, dude. For sure. For sure. I love that figure, man. I finally got my anti-gravity gauntlet after over a decade of just praying that would be a thing. I remember I got the Mondo turtles and that came in there and I was like, oh, what I wouldn't give for this to be in freaking 1/12 scale. But here we are. We got it. It's like Fugitoid and Mirage like accessory set. It's such a cool fit. It's amazing. But yeah. All right, so what I'm doing right now is I'm straightening out a screw. I know I said a minute ago that the this probably wouldn't work, but I kind of like just want to try it. This is a thinner this is a much thinner screw than I'm used to using, so that's actually good. Give me a second, guys. I know you can. I'm so sorry. I wish I had a. I need to get a head cam. I just don't want to look like a freaking idiot while I'm up here. Like, hey guys, and big stupid camera on my head. I just want you guys to see, kind of like from my point of view, as to what's going on. We'll get there someday. We'll get a freaking cool overhead camera, and you guys will be like, "Oh, I don't miss nothing now." With good focus too. I want fixed focus right there. Okay. All right, so we've got this guy straightened out. Let's see if we can pull this off. You know what I mean? Let's try it. That's what... My man freaking Punker Mike's in here? Dude. Mike, you're gonna... Oh, Mike. Mike, you're one of those guys that I just know, like you and Cap, are gonna just... seize every, like, ounce of joy out of that Fugitoid figure, man. It's just... It's so good. It's so simple, but it's, like, so great. And, man, the little restraint option that you can get out of there is just... you know, wow. How'd you do that? How did you guys do this? But man, like I said, that anti-grav gauntlet, what I wouldn't give to have like 3 more. I'd love 3 more of those. If I find another Fugitoid, I will buy him just for that dang gauntlet. Although it would be cool to have a gold one too, a gold Fugitoid. Now, see, if they would have done that, I saw that they were doing like a, there's like $100 version, I guess signed by Kevin Eastman, which is kind of strange because it's more of Laird's creation, but whatever. That's what they want to do. I just need that $33 version, man. Give me that smaller version and I will gladly buy another. Let's see what we got here. I'm looking through my drill bits currently. I don't know what size these are. They don't have a freaking sticker on them. Well, there's more .9s, baby. I need a smaller one. Here's a .7. Let's see what we got. I had like a granola bar or something earlier, like a keto granola bar. It had like coconut in it, which I love. But it's like, it stays with you. It just kind of stays in there. It's fun. Okay. This is a .7. Here's what we do. If you're not sure if it's going to work, I mean, we only got 1 shot at it basically here. You know what I mean? You have 1. You might have 2. Sometimes you can, if you screw it up on this side, you can go back around. But this has got most of our plastic hang off, so we want to try to keep that as much as we can. So what I do is I would probably reach for some of the best fodder in the business. Man, if you guys are looking for a sugar-free alternative, Minute Maid 0 sugar fruit punch, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It doesn't taste like crap. So good. Just a second. Dr. Strange figure I gotta fix. Where's my fodder piece? I wish I would have had this ready to go. That would have been a pretty funny reveal. Now I'm sitting here looking like a crazy person. So I keep a lot of plastic nearby, but this one would have been a pretty good joke if I could find it. Oh, there it is. McFarlane figures. This is a Grodd head that I actually cut off the top the other day and used it for helping me fix a Mando. These figures are great, man. I can spend like, if I can find them on clearance, great. Under $20 for just a big fat chunk of plastic that I can just cut around and get all crazy with it, and I love that stuff. Julian asked, did I pre-order Mezco Spider-Man 2099? Yeah, of course I did. Miguel is amazing. He's one of my top 3 favorite Spider-Man, dude. Like, of course I did. Of course I did. He's processing now. All right, so what I do is I'm going to take this like right here, and all I'm going to do is just drill a hole. Just a simple hole. Okay? And what that does is just drilling that one hole allows me to now take my screw, if I can pick it up, and we'll see. Well, basically what this is doing is allowing me to see if the screw hole I just drilled is big enough for the screw itself, or is it going to get too tight? Is it too loose? And it looks like that's perfect. Cool. Okay, so next, this is kind of a shot in the dark, whether this is going to work or not. Because this is still intact, man. This ring here is not broken. The plastic is actually pretty like malleable, which is interesting to me. So maybe this will work. I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic, I guess, but so I'm gonna go ahead and hold it. This is gonna suck. Maybe I can hold it like this with the. This is just asking to go flying. You know what I mean? Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. All right, we're gonna take our drill bit and we're gonna see if we can't drill in a hole. Man, if I can pull this off, this is gonna be like Luke Skywalker shooting that reactor or whatever in the Death Star. I'm gonna come in from the side a little bit. Let's see if I can't zoom in. I want you guys to see this, and I'll see if I can't keep it very steady. Let's make sure it's in focus, though. I'm gonna focus. Let's zoom out just a little bit. Is it autofocus on, or what the hell? It's weird. Okay, I think that's pretty good, I guess. Hopefully that's in focus for you guys. All right, so I'm gonna try to go in right here on this side, and you can see why it's got like a little hook there on the top. Why is that so out of focus? Maybe I can see what happens here. No, nothing. All right. Okay, let's see what happens here. I'm going to try to go in, see if I can't keep the camera steady, or at least my hand steady in the camera shot. Let's see if I know I'm going to keep inching closer to myself, so there we go. Nervous. For some reason, I'm freaking nervous. I shouldn't be. No, I'm confident. I'm going to do it. Watch. Make sure I'm also going in straight. That'd help. I can't tell if I'm hitting the right spot. It's jumping on me. I don't think I did it. Let's see here. God dang. A little nerve-wracking there. So the worry you're always going to run into when you're drilling into something so thin. So you can see, hopefully you can see here. I wonder how close I can get to that. Is that as close as I get? All right, so you can see we've done it successfully here. I've drilled all the way through. You can see the bit. So right here, this is where you got to start. Let me see if I can't find my little pointer. This will work. That's right here where you'll start noticing like, sorry, there's like junk on the end of this thing. I don't like it. If you ever want to clean off your sculpting tools, you can take a razor blade with this and just there we go. Okay. So here we are. So we've drilled all the way through here in the center. So it's a 0.7 millimeter drill bit. You can see on the other side though, it's drilled all the way through. You can see it's very thin right here. The worry you always run into is once you put that screw into it, is it going to, you know, is it going to bend? Because a lot of times you want to drill a slightly smaller hole and then insert your screw so it's got, you know, enough to grip. I'm going to go ahead and test this, and if this looks good, if it goes in without breaking it, cool. If not, then we're going to have to go back to basically the original plan, which is build a new joint. We'll see what happens here. Give it another twist. I can't believe it. I think this might work. I mean, that's our screw all the way in. It's got a really snug fit. I can't. That was an incredibly small hole we just drilled, guys. Like that was a incredibly small 0.7 millimeters. I don't know. I don't even know how to like show this off to you guys. Like this is like, you know, this is a razor blade right here. Okay, that's how thin a razor blade is, and that's how thin this is. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Sorry, I'm not trying to brag here. I'm just kind of blown away that we did that. Wow. This might work. If the glue holds strong enough, then I think this will work. So we also, you know, we're not done yet. We're not out of the woods yet. What we're going to do, I'm going to go and take out this, take this out. We'll go ahead and grab our, zoom out a little bit. We're going to unscrew it. Set this to the side. Next, we have to drill a hole in our peg. And what I would do before, or maybe I'll wait until I get a hole drilled. What we want to do is we want to shave this down a little bit. There's a few imperfections in here that I can see that could have caused this to break in the first place. I'm not sure yet what caused it. Another thing I'll be doing is basically drilling into the Nosferatu elbow cavity, basically where this is going to be going in there. What we want is to make sure this is nice and smooth, and that the inside of Nas's elbow is also very smooth. So, pardon me. So, yeah. I'm just kind of trimming it up right now with a razor blade. There's all sorts of little imperfections that can cause really big problems whenever they're, you know, moving around inside of that figure. If it was too tight, or if it was just tight enough, and then there's like an oblong shape or something like that, that's enough to, like, you know, wreck the joint. It really can break that easy. You saw just how small this is. And there's still potential that this won't work. I will know by the end, you know, if we're good. Basically, like, whenever I drive this into here, whenever we attach this piece to this piece, that's when we'll know. That's when we'll really know. But so I'm gonna go ahead and grab. It's not a really long peg, but so I'm gonna go ahead and grab this guy here, like so. Yeah, and Ori's down there. If check Ori's messages right now, he's like, if you aren't already part of the CREWMARU Discord, there's a link in Ori Omega's IG bio. It's just as you see right there, ORE Omega. Okay? Or if you want to get dumb with it, Oreo Mega. But his name's Ori. The man's name is Ori. Put some respect on the Lion's Den. Okay? But we're always willing. We always want more people in there. It's super fun. We just have a good time in there. So, all right. So next up, we've got this right here. We're gonna drill a hole straight through. Usually, what you want to do is like kind of keep it to the side a little bit, because this is a half and half joint, and you guys, if you've seen me repair these before, you know that the pieces kind of overlap, right? They overlap. So much like any other joint that you've seen, like here's one on Nas, for example, this wrist right here. We'll just use this wrist. This wrist right here, it's two halves to make a sphere, but the peg, you can see here, and I'll show you the peg, for those of you that aren't familiar with the engineering of these figures. Let's see if I can bend that up. See if that'll get in the way. Let's see if you can even see it. Maybe I can do it from this side. So right here, God, I hate that that's not focusing. Oh, there we go. All right, so you'll notice right there, like this peg right here is overlapping to that. Oh my God, I'm trying to do it right. Let's see. It's overlapping onto this side over here. It's attached to this side, but it's overlapping a little more on this side, right? So that's the problem we're running into, is generally if you were to drill, you wouldn't want to drill right down the center, because if you do that on the center, it's going to put your peg over a little bit, which generally will not matter. Since it's essentially on a ball, you can get that thing into any shape. And sometimes I'd rather have it fixed than risking it. But a lot of times what you need to do, if you want it perfect, is you want to drill in slightly to the side, which also gives more room for error. You know what I mean? Because if you get too close to the side, like I said a minute ago, if that drill's too close, if that hole's too close, it thins out that plastic. Once you put in that screw, it could push that plastic out. You could rip it out. It might still repair, but it's, you know what I mean? Like you're not following the engineering blueprints, and so that's where you run into potential issues. So with all that said, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use these are my favorite pliers, because they've got this cool little divot in them right there. You can see that little divot right there. It's for like basically rounded objects. A lot of times, because if you were to try to do it like this, while these might work, a lot of times they can just go fire off into orbit, and then you've got to go make a new peg or spend however much time trying to find the other peg, and that always sucks. So, as you can see, this is wonderful. Fits perfectly right there. You know? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and drill in here. I don't know how well this will show up, but we'll see. I'm going to try to go on the side, which means we need to hit the shorter bit. We need to find out where this actually ripped off first before I go drilling into it, because there is a little bit of excess plastic on this piece. So I want to make sure I'm drilling in the right spot. Actually look semi-even, but I'm pretty sure it's where this big chunk is ripped off. That's where we're gonna drill in there. Gives us a little more to work with. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna see if I can't drill off to the side. Okay, put this on here. You'll see that we did successfully come in from the side. Well, I don't know if you'll be able to successfully see it. I successfully did it. I don't know if you can successfully see it. But we are slightly off centered. It's close to the center. It's just slightly off. I know it's not much. You can see it. It's right there. It's closer to this side right here than it is to this side. Just a little bit. It's just enough. You can go in the center. It's totally fine if you go in the center, but I just have to do it the way I want to do it. All right, so let's see. Before we go back in, what I always like to do is there's a hole on this side now, so I want to go in the opposite side. And be careful, this can grab your drill bit and break it, so just be kind of careful. Go slow. There we go. I like to go back through the other way just to make sure, because sometimes it, you know, I don't know why, it like seems like it heats up at the front and then it doesn't, you don't catch that heat at the end. I'm also going to go ahead and Dremel the end off of this just a little bit. I hate those little extra pieces of peg they put in there. It's super weird. Okay. Man, I think my stylus is starting to come apart and that makes me nervous. Okay, so we're going through one more time since I just freaking sanded the top. That's going to cover up the hole a little bit. Grip that. There we go. Now we're going to take our screw. Okay. We're going to go in through the top of the peg. All right. I'm going to go in through all the way. And you want to be careful because this is a thinner screw we're dealing with right now. So I'm going to grip it with these. I don't want to go in too tight. I want to see if I can't hand tighten this. If I can hand tighten it, we're doing all right. It's a little snug. It's just a little more snug than I'm comfortable with. Like I said, you have to be really careful with this because if you go in too tight, it will snap this screw. They're not the strongest screws, but what's funny is they can be very strong whenever they're coupled, with super glue and covered in the plastic and put in. They can provide very solid supports. And I keep on. There we go. Man, that thing just wants to come out. Okay. Sometimes you got to run that drill bit in a few times just to kind of get rid of any excess. It can heat up as well. The plastic can expand and contract. All sorts of stuff can happen whenever you're dealing with these. So, like I said, it would be nice to be able to just take this and drill it in with, just by holding it with my hand. Just afraid to I don't want to. I just don't want it to like bend off. Sometimes you can't tell when these things are starting to bend a lot of times, so see if we see that drill or that bit start to come out the other end. Go very carefully. You'll notice I've got it gripped via the screw, and I'm bending this via like the chunkiest part there. I'm trying to be very, very, very careful with this. And I'm going to go in way further. So what I usually do right now is I'll back it all the way up, and I'll put a glue, you know, on it and put it back in. But this time I'm going to do something slightly different. I'm going to keep going. I've already passed way, way, way further than I want to go through this thing. But I'm doing that for a reason. Kind of going through all of this. So here's what I'm going to do. Since we are way, way, way out now, I think we're almost to the end of this screw actually. I'm going to, now I'm going to lace my screw with super glue. And this is a different reason, and the reason why I'm doing this is because it's going to give me more control than the way I usually do it. So what could happen here is if I start, you know, bending this out and it snaps off right here, it's no big deal. I've still got plenty of, you know, threading and screw, which is what we need. We have to need to act kind of quickly on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add glue here on the screw, and then I'm going to pull it back out. So instead of going out, we're going to go back in like so. Zoom out because I know I don't want to screw this one up. Like I said, so we went all the way through here. We made sure it went all the way through. I'm getting as close to the teeth here on the pliers as I can. Super glue, I highly suggest JB Super Weld, or you can get this Loctite gel Ultra Hold. That stuff is really, really good too. So, okay, but JB Super Weld has just got an insane hold. It takes a little bit longer to cure, but it's so worth it. It's very, very, very worth it. All right, so here we go. We're going to add our glue here. Nice layer. Let's see, I'm going to go and take a photo of that. It's always nice to be able to document the process. And now we're going to back it up. Backwards. I feel like I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, I am. Let's go back up. Keep going. Keep going. We got to go a good ways here. We're going to get all that laced screw all the way up. And then we're going to take what's exposed in the screw and we're going to drill it into here, which I think we're probably there. We don't want to go too crazy here. All right, so now that we've backed up, all of that that super glue is now inside of there. It's attached to the plastic and it's attached to the screw. We didn't really get a whole lot on the tip here, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to add a healthy bit on this, honestly. And the reason why is because I want that super glue to make sure that when it does come into contact with this, it's that the plastic is going to touch the plastic, right? So let's go ahead and we're going to use our hole that we drilled in. Okay. Now, I'm going to take a small bit of paper towel. Kind of just wipe a little bit around the edges. And there we go. So now we've successfully reattached the peg to the disc here, which I am really surprised by. I didn't think that would hold up. A lot of times those things can shred. I haven't done one this small in a very, very, very long time. I haven't even attempted them. I just stopped and just started making my own out of scratch plastic. But now that I realized, I was like, why was it that I took this guy's figure and made him a new joint? And I made him one out of a completely different joint too. He was totally cool with it. The color was pretty close, so that was cool, and that worked out really well. But I think what I might do also is sand this down while we've got it kind of held on here. Just kind of flatter. There's a lot of, I've seen a lot of like imperfections in this plastic. Sand it down real lightly just to kind of get some of this junk out of the way so that when we do reattach it, it's going to be nice and sturdy. And you're probably asking me at this point, it's like, well, if you could have just drilled in and reattached it, why'd you unattach it, you know, from the other half in the first place? And the answer to that is you could try it, but for me, it's more control. As you can see, I'm able to clean everything up right now and not harm the other side of the piece, that other half. And that's very important to me. So now we get a nice clean joint. And I'm kind of going in at an angle on here to try to get rid of any excess like plastic or imperfections that might have been there before. Since I've got this little piece of screw to hang on to, it really gives me a better range of control. I don't have to hold on to the piece that we don't want any extra friction on right now because the glue's still drying. So this is pretty cool. It's always good. And then we want to go a little over. What I want to do is I want to go, now I can kind of hold on to this piece. It's drying very well. In fact, what we can do is we can probably go ahead and we can clip, where'd my glue go? There we go. We can go ahead and clip this guy off right here. Man, I cannot believe how it looks really good right now, and I'm thinking this is gonna work just fine. Like I said, it feels damn sturdy. I've been fooled before, guys. I've been fooled before. But I might need a new razor blade. This one feels a little dull, and that can really mess something up too. Yeah, if it's not cutting through, then there we go. Just trying to see what there's like these little bits of plastic just kind of hanging out there, trying to be a jerk. And I don't want that on there. So I kind of go through real carefully with the razor blade and slice those off. It's also allowing me to press into this and really kind of give it an extra little acid test to see how well this is holding in. And right now, pretty dang good. And sorry I'm not as lively, guys, but a lot of times whenever I get into this situation like this, I really need to focus on it. And, you know, I'm not trying to ignore you guys out there. I think you guys usually are just along for the ride anyway, so. I'm going to sand it here near the end. I'll show you. Let me see if I can't get closer for you. And we'll get this focused. 'cused. 'Cause, 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 ' Okay. I do apologize. My fingers have been freaking messed up. I got like a weird allergic reaction not too long ago, and I don't know what it was from. And like my hands like were like itchy and stuff like that, and then they stopped. And now like my hands like really dry. So it's like, man, look at my cuticles are dry right there. It's just my left hand too. It's really strange. Anyways, so what we're doing right now is we're going in like this. We're sanding like this. Kind of, it's at an angle. All right. So I'm coming in. I'm trying to. I wish that would focus better. I think that's good. Yeah. So I'm coming in at an angle like this. You see what I mean? So I'm hitting that kind of corner piece right there so we can kind of get rid of any excess glue that might have been doing the, you know what I mean? It's just very light sanding. Very light sanding. Around the edges. It's all very, very light. So you can tell just by the hum, there's not a high speed going right now. You know what I mean? Okay, so next what we want to do, we're kind of going down here in the middle, and you'll notice I'm kind of at an angle once again. And that just kind of allows me to just kind of get rid of, kind of smooth it out for whatever damage could have happened while we were pulling out the peg earlier, or if there was excess plastic that was causing the issue of the break in the first place. We can go through and make sure that's not going to happen again by sanding on it. All right, so let's zoom out a little bit. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our end clippers. Since this is such a tiny guy, get as close to the peg as we can. Take a tiny little plastic bag here. Just the tiniest of plastic bags. There we go. Gets rid of our excess there. And we're going to take this. We're going to be careful here. I want to see if I can't clip any closer. I don't know why that didn't clip any closer, but there we go. Rocker Josh Smith is here, y'all. My man. Here's what I was going to say. So I'm going to go ahead and sand this down. Oh, wait, hang on. I got to make sure. Dogs are barking. That's a Loki bark. I love it when Loki barks, man. Oof. Oof. All right, so here's what that might be going on for a minute. Sorry. So what we're going to do now is we're going to sand this clean right here on the top. There's like a little sharp point. And even though this is going to be going inside of that elbow, I don't want any risk. I don't want any of this. And I like to clean my work up, even if you're not going to see it. So you want to be careful. Now this is a smaller screw, so it should sand fairly easy. You'll notice a lot of times I kind of go in and out motion like so. That usually will help grind it a little smoother, a little faster. Usually you can avoid any kind of like hits or nicks that might send your drill flying. What I'll usually do in a situation like this too is you want to get rid of some of the plastic. Just a little bit. And usually I won't stop drilling until I start kind of hitting the plastic. That way I know that it's nice and flat, nice and smooth. It's coming out real nice. And so what happens also though is whenever you do this screw repair, what happens is whenever you put that screw in there, since I do use a smaller hole, because you want the screw to be able to connect and have something to grip onto, what happens is it can actually make everything thicker. So you kind of end up in a different situation than before. If you were to put this straight in, maybe it'll work. Maybe. Maybe it'll be too dang tight because you made it bigger and it'll twist right off. And you don't want that. So what I like to do is go in and sand out just a little bit. All the way around. A lot of times you want to kind of move it around just to make sure that you're getting a nice even sanding on it. And I'm going real light with this. You know, we don't want to take off too much. You also don't want to hit that screw too many times and just stay on that screw, because what happens if you stay on it, it's going to heat up, you know, due to friction, and it could potentially heat your adhesive, heat your plastic, and then in the long run, it could, you know, if you're just sticking on it there, it could heat all that work up that you just did and basically negate all the work you just did, and that's what you don't want. You do not want that. This is looking beautiful, by the way. One of the cleanest ones I think I've ever done, especially at this scale, so that's impressive. So you can see right there. Here we are. Let's see if I can't. You can see there that we've got it nice and smooth. The other side. You can also see that we successfully see that little nook right there. That's what we wanted. That little bitty nook. That's right here. And that's what we wanted, that little half and half. So when this goes back down, just like this one has a half and half too. You can see it here. You can see the little spot right there. That's what we wanted to match, and we successfully did that. Now, now the fun part, as if that wasn't fun enough, what I want to do is we're going to take this right here. So this is our Pop Rivet, and you can see it's just looking like a funky star shape right now. What we want to do is we want to kind of, I'm just kind of bending it a little bit. And if anybody ever has any suggestions or knows where they can get smaller Pop Rivets, I would be more than happy to hear that information. But yeah. Okay, so I'm just basically kind of shrinking that out right now, smooshing it down. And so now all we want now is for this. There we go. Oh my God, Josh. You know, it's funny. It was like sitting there, like, how many? You think Fred Durst was like, how many songs? How many #1 songs you got that got the word cookie in it? Yeah, baby. You know what I mean? That was my Fred Durst impression. It's always funny. I'm a sucker, like I said, effed up in the head, not. He said that. Fred Durst was like dad rap, now that I think about it. It's kind of funny. It's funny whenever you listen to that song, Nookie. It's funny that you bring that up. We listened to that album yesterday while we put clothes away because I was kind of making fun of it, but I was also like, I'll jam into some. I think John Otto is an amazing freaking drummer, straight up. I don't care if he played for Limp Bizkit or whatever. The dude's a really good drummer. But it was funny hearing like Fred Durst sing, and I was like, man, that dude was just. And that Nookie song, that was a hurt man. That was a man who sounded like he got with the wrong lady, and she didn't treat him real well, and then he knew that, and he was being a punk. He was getting punked out by her, and then he made up a rumor. Oh, I did it all for the Nookie. Never had sex. You know? Old Fred Durst. Okay. Now that we've covered Fred Durst tonight, I think we can call this night a success. Oh, what Julian said. What are you up to, Julian? Can you believe my Spanish teacher said that the speed and velocity are the same thing? Just for the people who don't know, velocity is a vector quantity, which means it has a magnitude and direction, and speed is the magnitude of velocity. Well, I guess that's why he's a Spanish teacher and not a, in science or math. So, yeah, yo necesito muy educación. You know what I mean? Necesito escuela. Por freaking favor. Golly. I don't know how to say stay in your lane in Spanish, but that's what I would say. Okay, so now I've got to attempt to oh man, this is kind of scary because I don't want to bend like what all the work we've done here. I don't actually know exactly what I'm doing with this bit. This is kind of new, trying to put this back in because usually I could potentially drill a little more of a divot here so it pops in a little easier. But I'm seeing if I can't get lucky and just kind of pop it on like that. You know what I mean? So sometimes if you hold it like so, and then I'll have to use my giant ones here. If we got it like so on this side, and then we come in on this side, I feel like this still is too sharp. It's like too oblong, too weird. Yeah, like I said, if we can get this to like kind of pop in. Try to keep it in the dang camera frame. I think we just got one side in there. You seeing this? ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for a seemingly successful repair. We're gonna see where this goes now. So now we've got it in here successfully. The only thing that kind of makes me nervous about this is just how little area it had to grip. And so I'm afraid I just need to make sure that whenever this is in there bending around, you know what I mean? Like that it's not going to twist right off. There's not a lot of stuff gripping onto this, and that just kind of makes me nervous. Because, you could do all of this stuff, and as impressive as this looks, if it doesn't hold, it's all for nothing. That's why I always tell people don't use, pins. I always use screws, and some people want to do what they want to do. Actually, fun fact. I had a guy come, I had my notifications turned off for YouTube for a long time just because, I don't know, I was talking about Shartimus Prime in a good way. I like the man. I like Russ. We've been friends for a very long time. So I was like saying, hey, man, dude's a positive guy. And yeah, anyways, whatever. It didn't matter whether you like him or not. some dude had like mentioned like I don't know, I think Russ was talking about how it's like, you know, he's asking for Patreons and stuff like that, and money to get these things, and somebody said like his wife should get a OnlyFans, and I was so angry at that disrespectful thought of Nina's a wonderful woman, great mother, amazing wife, just an awesome woman with a great heart, and for some random guy on the internet to be like, oh, she could just get an OnlyFans. I was so mad at that. That really got me. I try not to stay out of that garbage, but a lot of times I get pulled into that. Well, I turned off my freaking notifications because of that. Because some people are like, whatever, you're just yada yada. And they go in, I'm like, I don't have time for that. I'm done. I said my piece, I'm out. Some guy, I turned him on the other day, and some guy was in there like just on my like two of my first my first videos. I think it's like one of my very first tutorials, so it's not the greatest, but it's fairly easy to follow. It was like the torso cracking of the suited torsos. I think this guy's name's Fiendish Frank. Goes in and is like talking like that I'm telling people the wrong thing to do, and talking about how I just like told somebody how to like ruin their figure. He's like, you don't have to use heat to remove the wrists. He's like, you, it was crazy. The way he typed it out was like, use heat, LOL. You don't have to do that. All the Marvel Legends have removable and swappable hands. You don't even have to do that. Maybe a little bit, but not a lot of heat. You just told this guy how to wreck his figure. And I'm like, dude, like, first off, whoa, just let's calm down. But second off, I was like, those old figures, like those old suited figures, they didn't have swappable hands. You know what I mean? Like Coulson and stuff like that. Like you had to, you know, heat them up. They had those giant freaking pegs on them. I was like, who is this guy? And then I noticed he jumped in on another one. Another one. Like it was like that. And then, or it was the same one. He was just in there commenting. I was like, this guy's crazy. So anyways, I think it's like the first time I've ever seen like negative comments on my videos. So I was like, oh, that's what that feels like. Anyways, kind of weird. So I've got this piece back in, and I've hammered it. What we're going to do here as well is, since we've hammered that in, a lot of times what I like to do is go in from the side here with this guy, and we'll grip like so. Let's see. So we'll grip from the side. And then we'll grip from this side. I'm not going to be able to take a photo of this. I don't even know how to do it. I'm going to use another set of pliers like this. So come in like that. So basically what we're trying to do here is flatten this out. So I'm pinching. Just carefully pinching that. Because I need to make sure that this is tight enough that it's gonna, you know, because right now we got like this really loose arm. Now maybe we have the arm fixed to where it's reattached, but is it gonna, you know, we want to make sure that it's also gonna keep some tightness and articulation. We want that as well, which that usually is a problem. You know, you run into that, it's like, all right, well, now we're probably gonna have to we might have to add some little bit of glue, which I'd rather not do, but sometimes you just kind of have to. Keep in mind, we just now like we just like busted a freaking Pop Rivet, and now I'm trying to get it to essentially close back the way it was before, and that's really hard to do. That's really hard to do. Yeah, look at that. Look at this. It's like two pliers, so kind of get that extra grip on there. That actually worked amazing. That worked amazingly well. Using the 2 pliers like that. So I don't know if y'all saw that, but I got these pliers right here, like that. I took these pliers, came in like right here, and then squeezed both. It gives you that extra little bit. Now you'll notice that will still move, but it won't just, maybe if you thump it, it might. Cool. So, go. That's perfect. That's what we want. Okay, so I guess this is technically the moment of truth. Next up, we want to, you know what's weird is the more I look at this peg, the more it looks like you could potentially put it in backwards. If I put this in backwards, then this piece right here would never have to try to spin. It would always be safely locked here, and then this piece could spin, and this is just acting as like our solid piece. Why not, right? Actually, that looks way better. Incredibly well better. I don't think that's a word. Or that was improper grammar completely. Anyways, hang on. Let me see if I can't get a snapshot of this, because that was just too cool doing the 2. Yeah, look at that. I can just do it with like, you know, sometimes you don't have to show off so much. All right, let's try that again. Oh, it's got dust all over it. That's my pliers, because the other day I was sanding down this crazy Vegeta statue and still working on it. Dude is really, really cool. Thank God, because this weekend was a nightmare. And there we go. This is definitely a, I can say this is a 2-hour repair. That's how long, and that's lucky. We got really lucky. If I would have had to sand it, if I would have had to make one from scratch, we'd have been here another hour easily. All right. So let's see if this works. I'm really interested to see if this works. So the piece that we just sanded, let's make sure we've got this set like Nas here, and this other one. Check his other arm. You can't even tell. You won't even be able to tell. You can't see what is what. So yeah, let's so here we go. We're gonna go ahead. Oh, what did I say earlier? I said I wanted to Dremel out some of the elbow to make sure that when we do put this back in, we're gonna have a nice clean cavity in there, basically. And I've got the perfect tool for that. Let's see how big that hole is. Where's my little guy at? We're going to use a rounded burr bit. This is, I think this might be the smallest one I have. I used to have a smaller one, I think, but so you see this guy right here is pretty dang small compared to the tip here. We actually have to use a adapter for this, but these are really cool. You can see here that my friend Clayton had told me about these little adapters right here. This guy, it can basically take on any drill bit. It's got like these little teeth that tighten, and it'll tighten to any kind of hole. That's really cool. I'm gonna go ahead and Dremel out a little bit in here, even though this one wasn't our problem. You never know. And then we're gonna roll up Nas's sleeve here. Let me zoom out a little bit on this guy. I'm gonna go ahead and do this so. Let's get all that fabric out of the way just so we don't catch any of it. And it's this, keep in mind, You can see just how big this is as compared to the hole here. It's got, I mean, the hole has plenty, probably is twice the size here that I'm putting that into. And this, all that's doing is just kind of giving a little, you know, just a little bit of cleaning, basically. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and heat up our arm first that popped off. And what I'm hoping is going to happen is that the opposite side should fit in exactly the same. They look the same. All right, let's see what we got going on here. So now we're flipping the script here at the last second. We're going to make sure that this bends all the way we want it to. We're going to take the piece that we actually reattached and we're going to see if it inserts into here the way we want it to. Let's see. It's going to be a snug fit. Make sure that I don't need to cut any more off of that. Let's sand it down just a little bit. I think this will work and it'll be better in the long run, way better in the long run. And I would feel comfortable sending this one back because it'd be nice to have the piece that's actually not going to really be moving, just being static, and the piece that'll be twisting be an unbroken plastic piece. Go and heat this arm up one more time. I probably didn't heat it up enough, but you never know. Sometimes you want to make sure. Like I said, since this doesn't twist right here, it should be exactly what we want, because what that'll do is this elbow piece is going to provide us this nice little safe housing for whenever this does decide to twist or bend, it'll be able to do that without pulling on this peg. Let's go and see if we can do that. Okay. So now we have our arm attached like so. Okay. So when we put this thing in, when we twist it like so, it's going to have this solid piece right here. Now the piece that we reattached is now attached here firmly by a pop rivet and a screw, and now it's safe in its little housing where this does not twist. Since this doesn't twist in here, that thing cannot move. Okay, you would have to, like, I don't even know. I think you'll break this one before you break that one. Let's go ahead and I want to sand this one down though, just in case, our new guy, just to make sure it's gonna be okay. It looked the same though. Everything looked the same, but just making sure it's nice and rounded out. Okay. All right, now for the final bit. Look at that, 8:58. Doing all right on time. Perfect on time. If this goes in and works, well, that'll be freaking in just perfect. That'll be 2 hours and on the dot. Unless I start a little after 7. We won't worry about that. Okay. Naz's arm is heated up. Let's see if this works, guys. Oh man, I wish I had a slow motion replay of that. Made a perfect pop sound. It's got a nice... I think that'll probably heat up, or that'll cool down a little bit and it might tighten up. I think this also will... Look at that. We've got arm. Pretty dang good, man. It might be slightly loose than it was before. I might need to reheat that. Maybe. We'll see what happens if this cools down. A lot of times when it cools down, the plastic will harden, and it'll make it a little harder to get out. But other than that, Nas is ready to creep people out. You know, fun fact, Nosferatu was actually one of the scariest things I saw when I was a kid. He spooked me, man. He scared me so much. The dude was just spooky. Just a spooky dude. But yeah, there you go. That's how you fix one of those things. That's not even like an like, look at this. Here we go. How would you even call this? Nosferatu? Nosferatu? Not Nosferatu? Nosferatu? Bill Ferratu? Probably Bill Ferratu. Look at that.
Oh god, that was bold without a dick.
But no, it looks like we're good to go. This figure's moving exactly the way he should. Like I said, sometimes you'll end up with just a little bit of looseness just because, you know, you want to be careful to make sure this stuff doesn't break again. But, I mean, I think this he'll hold a pose. I wonder if he could hold up you know, I always like to do this. I always like to test my... how strong the fix actually is, and I try to think of like things that you might do with it, and I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if it's like tight enough or not. And let's take a smaller figure, like we could do like this Hush Joker here, and we could see if like Nosferatu can support the weight or something like that. Seems to be doing pretty dang good to me. Yeah, look at that. Nothing holding it in place. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. I don't know. That works. That's pretty cool. There you go. So that's how that works. I think the cloth kind of helps him keep some of that stability in the elbow, but she'll be able to pop the hands on. I don't know how hard these hands are to pop on and off. I hope they're easy, because I usually will sand these down too just to make sure they don't get broken. You know what I mean? But hopefully these are good. I could gladly sand these down. I just don't know what hands actually fit on these, so I wouldn't want to mess with anything. But yeah, there you go, Chris. There's another one in the books. Oh, never done one of those live. God dang. Look at this fun guy. I found I got my pre-order on Amazon came through for this Aquaman figure from McFarlane. Figure's not bad. I went to pop the head off and like hair came off. Look at that. I wonder if that would work. Like if I could do that on my this other figure of my. Look at that. There you go. It's getting there. I bet if I sanded that stuff down, that hair would actually fit this this head. It's hilarious. Cool. Well, if those hands going well, then you should be all set for this. I need to find another one of these freaking Aquaman figures. I like this guy. I think he's cool. Kind of like Aquaman a little bit, so I don't know if you guys have heard. Here you go. Arthferatu. That works, right? Pretty cool outfit, really. I like this. It's a cool outfit. I like the brown. Oh, we're losing my hair. Okay, cool. Yeah, man. Warren, thanks for dropping by, dude. I'm glad you got to see this. It's always nice whenever the clients take the time to, or if they have it, you know, to stop in and see just exactly what goes into repairing these figures. You know, I honestly try to be as cheap as I can, but sometimes these things just, I mean, I guess sometimes you gotta ask yourself, it's like, how much do you get paid for 2 hours of work? You know what I mean? Is it worth to see that? And sometimes it turns into a lot, but just shows respect, and I really appreciate that you showed up for that. That's pretty cool. Nosferatu. There we go. I love it. That's freaking awesome. That's awesome. If you're good to pay by noon tomorrow, then sir, I can ship it out tomorrow. And that would be great. So hit me up. We'll message each other and get this job back on the road to the island. And heck yeah, guys. Good night. Fantastic night. Way better than last stream. Last stream was a freaking train wreck. It was ridiculous. Well, yeah, appreciate y'all stopping by. I think I'm going to stop here. I might jump on Discord or Elden Ring. I just can't tell right now. That was probably enough for me tonight. But cool. As always, guys, it's been a wonderful Monday. It looked like the chat was popping tonight. It was really, really fun. Absolutely. Take care of each other out there, okay? Keep in mind, I'll be taking off, like I said, I'm going to be taking off April, but I don't know if I'm going to take streams off on April. Just the repair work. If I don't have anything to repair, we maybe have some guests on. It's always fun to have like Ori and Corey on and stuff like that. We'll see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if I have repairs for the next 2 weeks. You know, I'd like to take some time off, honestly, even from work. My birthday is April 8th. I'm going to be 38 years old. So that's crazy. I'm going to take that day off, and that's why I usually take April off. I take it off so I can try to get everything and you know, my affairs in order. You know, it's tax season, and I'm trying to get rid of a lot of stuff here. I keep talking about this sale I want to do for this, you know, this room. I want to get rid of a lot of stuff. I want to reset this room up for better streams, for cooler streams, just to make it look more official. I've got a lot of cool ideas, but you know, we'll see what happens. Like I said, take care of each other out there. It's good seeing all you guys. Samurai Chris, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. We'll talk, and we'll see what some of the guys want to do. But as always, you know, I'll keep fixing these figures as long as you guys keep trying to, you know, fix the world, and then I'll help fix the world, and we'll do that. I'll work on a better catchphrase. Y'all take care.